Alright guys, I am making a video about my thoughts and opinions on the new GTA that just came out today. I just spent all day playing it, and I can hear you saying, why do you want the thoughts and opinions of some dude, just some random dude? Well, I wouldn't say I'm some random dude. I guess you could say, I played on PS3, played on PS4, and now here we are with the PS5 version, so I'm coming in playing old gen, new gen, and now new gen, if you want to call it that. So, first things first, the graphics. Honestly, I don't notice the graphics too much. I mean, I guess they're beautiful if you want to call it that, but I haven't really noticed any difference between me playing the PS4 version of GTA on my PS5 and even playing the PS4 version on my PS4, which it wasn't even a Pro, by the way. But graphics look like whatever. I've noticed slight differences in, say, the effects, like explosions, and I guess when I was using my RC tank with the plasma cannon, it does look a little brighter, and I guess whatever. I could even be wrong on that. But definitely the explosions have changed. And even though it's not graphics, some of the sounds have kind of changed, like reloading your heavy sniper. It's not in graphics, but if it's one thing I definitely do notice, it is the explosions kind of being whatever color it is. You'll maybe see it in the gameplay footage here, but the only other thing graphics is it's the same shit. It's always been the same shit. Everything that I'm about to mention, it's the same game, alright? It's always been the same game. It's going to be the same game. GTA 5 is GTA 5. Nothing's fucking changed. The players haven't changed. Nothing's changed, okay? It's just more. It's like playing it on PC, basically. I don't know why Rockstar hyped it up with some trailer. They could have just said, oh yeah, we're just going to port it over and make it a little bit better, give it some enhancements, yada yada. But they chose to go that path. Second thing, the frame rate. The frame rate is vastly improved over the versions I played. Now, I haven't played PC myself, but I'm raring to guess that this is how PC players play, with their frames being whatever number you want to say above 60. I actually do not know if it runs at 60 or not. I'm pretty sure it's a quick Google search away, but from what I've seen, shit's so smooth, makes my goddamn eyes water. I had to take a lot of adjusting to get used to, moving my camera around, wiggling it around, being in first person. I was like, oh my god. Literally loaded into the game. First thing I did was move the camera and go, holy shit, this is dope. I'm actually playing like a video game right now. That's what I'm saying, it takes getting used to. Playing GTA before was always just this thing that you had to get used to, and now that the frame rate's actually like a current video game frame rate, all the problems that have came from the frame rate are just no longer there. But I guess it's a pretty expensive upgrade because you have to get a whole new console just to play some game that was 10 years old at normal frame rates. You can't just do that. You kind of have to dedicate stuff to it, but it's whatever. It's new version, same game. The load times are honestly from PS4 to PS5 vastly improved. But if you're playing the PS4 version on the PS5, they're pretty much the same. So, I mean, the hardware is the same. The hardware doesn't, or not the hardware, the software of the PS5 doesn't change. So, why would the load times between the two change? Maybe they could make the game faster. Like, I noticed when you load into your apartments and your buildings and stuff, it takes the same amount of time, sometimes a very long time, because I'm just assuming that's GTA, just servers in general. My terminology is not the best, but you can notice when you load into the game it's really fast, but when you're trying to go in your terabyte and it's still slow. Same with like calling Lester or something. Sometimes it could still fuck up and ring 3 or 4 times just because it's GTA. It's not perfect. Something that really threw me off is the adaptive triggers. Now, there's a setting for adaptive triggers, which basically makes it like you're playing Forza or something when you're driving cars. So your controller actually tries to fight you when you hit the brake. So I'm hitting L2 on my controller after going, 90 billion miles down the road, and it's actually really hard to press in like an actual brake would be, I guess. I turned that shit off immediately. It's awesome though. Feels like I'm playing Forza. Pretty cool, but for usability, tacticality, whatever word you want to throw in, whatever zinger word you want to throw in, I don't think it's the best for that. I kind of immediately turned that off. That kind of goes hand in hand with the vibration of your controller. Shit's smooth. Like, never have I felt more vibrations just driving down a straight road. Like, you can feel every bump and crack you drive over, which is a nice touch. Now, they tried to do something like that before, but it might just be the PS5 controller in comparison to the PS4, which it definitely 100% is, but also the game does a beautiful job of identifying what should rumble exactly how much, like going over grass, going over a curb, landing really hard after flying through the air with my scramjet, then you land upside down, your shit shakes, okay, which it did before, but it's pretty accurate. It's pretty good. For the car handling, other than it taking getting used to, like, just the game in general, like the frame rate of the game and how the game looks with all the motion blur and shit happening, the car handling is obviously the same. Now, the vibration and the frame rate affects it, but those are two things you just need to get used to. Once you get used to them, it's the same game. It's the same shit. If you turn off the adaptive triggers, then it's definitely the same shit. Now, with the adaptive triggers, the car handling is a lot more Forza-like. You're driving and you feel a lot more in the car. So if you're a racer, definitely might want to put that in. Now, the physics. I've noticed something really weird with the physics. Now, this is just a one-off, but I don't show it here in any of the clips, but like, I'll just ram a police car with my scramjet and shit will go flying. It'll go tumbling down the road like I hit it with a fucking phantom wedge down the road. And it's actually kind of interesting how I'm assuming that the frame rate being enhanced and excelled to the way it is kind of makes things floatier in the game in a way. Like, even my scramjet flying through the air feels a lot more lightweight. But then the moment it hits the ground itself, it becomes 10 tons of a car. Because, you know, cars are massive behemoths. They weigh a shit ton. But no, not when the frame rates increase. You know, the more frame rate you have, apparently, the less gravity you have, which I actually think is kind of funny. That's just one example. Pretty sure it's not actually something. It's just something I noticed playing through the game. It's definitely a lot different from the playing on PS4, where your shit's running at like 3 frames per second, everything's glued to the ground. So, in my experience playing all 3 versions, I can definitely say frame rate makes things floatier, which is actually interesting. As for the players, you know, for the first day playing the game coming out, a lot of people are actually really friendly. Now, you can see me in a fight here. That's because they are the exception to that rule. Now, I will keep saying it over and over and over. GTA is GTA. Players will be players. The game will be the game. And in this case, players will be the players. So I just drove past these guys and they just instantly shot me out. Like, everyone before that I was driving past, honking my horn. Obviously not in my scramjet. Honking my horn at them. They'd honk back, you know. Oh yeah, we're on the new version. Yada yada yada. New fucking game, looks cool. People would get together, kind of look at each other like, oh yeah, this is cool. They kind of relish in the moment, but you know, not everyone's having it like that. They immediately want to come online and just start raising their KD. Like this one barcode I saw, instantly got into a jet, instantly started killing every player in the game, and I instantly orbed him. So, you know, it's kind of like a, oh, welcome back. You know, welcome back, Los Santos, am I right? And, you know, even though we never fucking left, yeah, it's one of those. On the topic of anything else interesting I've noticed through playing the game and just really experiencing it, not too much. There's not really too much to it. Would I buy a console dedicated to playing this game? No, because that's exactly what I did. I bought my PS5 specifically to get this version of the game. Was playing the PS4 version on my PS5 until this one came out. This one came out, and I must say, I'm not entirely disappointed. Like, I already knew it was going to be the same thing. It was going to be the same game, which it's the same fucking game. It's just a lot more responsive, a lot more fluid, a lot more reactive. It definitely makes PvP a lot better. And other than that, not too many differences with the game. The driving has been overhauled with the adaptive triggers, and the frame rate just looks really beautiful, looks really nice. There's some really nice areas to go to, but it's the same Los Santos that we've always been vibing in, so shit's not going to be too different, even though people say the graphics are god tier and whatever. The only thing that really gets affected is your draw distance. Your draw distance is actually insane in comparison to obviously old gen and obviously PS4, so new gen. Obviously, I keep saying obviously because of course the draw distance is going to be bigger. Like, I can see my scramjet on the floor flying in a jet all the way up top. Like, I can see players scramjetting from way high up. Now draw distance isn't really a thing that I have to worry about too much. Like before, draw distance was a big part of PvP. You had to know, I cannot see this person from this distance, so you'd either use thermal or something else. But now, that's the thing of the past. People are going to have different play styles, very slightly different play styles, just because the draw distance is not bad. I can definitely see people I'm sorry, I can definitely see people 1v1ing at beach, no problem. No one's teleporting in and out, phasing in and out of existence. People Mark II and can now see their target. People bombing, okay, with the planes will have a lot of an easier time actually seeing and lining up people. So I'm actually glad that this is like the definitive GTA, if you will. Like, I know they said they're coming out with GTA 6. I feel like this is just the definitive. This is what the game kind of was supposed to be from the beginning, but because of the hardware, or the software of whatever it was running on, they're kind of limited by that. And by that I just mean the stupid PvP nonsense that would happen just because of the frame rate being low. PvP nonsense. So I feel like now this is the definitive kind of, this is what you can and cannot do, because the frame rate says so now, and it's actually locked. I want to say it's locked. Don't know if it's locked. Feels locked. I haven't dipped to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure you can get a frame tester and test that, but anyways, game's the same, will always be the same, stay the same until 6 comes out, if it even does. Fuck, I hope it does, but here's the hoping, I guess, and here's the playing the same game up until that point, just on the newer console. Now, can't play with my friends on PS4, so I just am going to make a new character. As you can see, I have a lot of money, I have a lot of rank, I guess you could say that, I suppose, but yeah, it's whatever. You just can't go back. And honestly, that trade-off is worth it. Buying a new console isn't really worth it. So yeah, that's my review of, GTA, the new one. Very expanded, very enhanced. And by very, I mean neither of those, but honestly, it's kind of worth it depending on how much you play it, just for how it looks alone. And that's good enough for me. So that's my review on GTA Online, expanded and enhanced. It's actually not the worst thing ever. Won't probably make me play the game anymore than I already don't, but it's an option. So, yeah.